We definitely didn't plan the downfall of a country. That's what it is, Vive. Well, no, because the Vive wasn't the Steam one, right? I thought Steam was its own separate thing. This is a standalone headset, so I don't need a computer, but I can connect it to my computer if I had the right graphics card, I think. Blows my mind. I don't know, man. So what do you do? What do you do to work out with it? I have been interested in that concept. So I know a bunch of them are physical, and I'm a nerd, and I can easily just take a slight walk up a hill to a gym for free. But for some reason I don't. Like I do. I'm supposed to do it like 2 or 3 times a week, and I do it like once every other week. I do enough to convince myself that I am attempting to maintain fitness, but I don't do it enough to not be able to say that I'm lazy. Beat Saber. Beat Saber looked good. I saw some channels on Gust of Air is the dude that can't leave, isn't it? Is that you? Are you Gust of Air? No, you're Normal Fitteds. Fucking spattering again. Beat Saber is actually one of the ones that I had seen occasionally on YouTube, and I was like, you know, I used to do Stepmania on the keyboard. I was like, Beat Saber kind of looks like a similar thing to Stepmania. That'd be something. Called Side Quest. All right. How much did that cost? I know recently, that yesterday or the day before, I saw a Count Dankula video. I was making fun of it. There's a, I'm forgetting the name of it, but there's some chick on Chatterbait that's doing like motion tracking, like doing the VR motion tracking thing. So she could just be like an anime avatar. And that's got some chicks who don't do that very salty. It's a 20-minute video. His video, 20-minute video. The beginning is slow. I'll grant you that. The beginning is slow, but it's because it's like, it's leading up to a series of jokes at the end. So if you watch some of his things and you haven't given a watch, beginning's slightly slow. Just bear with it. It gets funnier as it goes on. Yeah, no, VR is starting to be used for like everything nowadays. There's a $400 version and $500. Difference is the $500 has double the storage. Oh, because it's a standalone thing, right? I saw the video as it premiered. Nice. That shit was funny. They have, at some point in the video, there is another chick. There is a chick who is angry. Hold on. I'm going to turn off the preview because I'm doing my old bad habit of looking at myself as I talk. There's another chick in his video who is angry and is trying to be like, hey, you shouldn't watch her. Which, fine, competition and all that. But her argument is that the other chick is fake. She's using technology to cover her weaknesses or something like that. She's saying it's not fair that the chick is cartoony. Mind you, when the chick is doing this, she has some weird fucking goofy filter thing on where she has glasses, big eyes, dog ears, a dog nose, and she has a voice changer on. Which is weird. So either one of two things happens. She's doing all that filter shit purely for that complaint video, in which case you're not making yourself look professional and or sound altogether sane when you do that, or she's being true to whatever her brand is, and that's what she does on the site as well. But if she does it on the site as well, then she's doing the same thing the VR chick is doing, just not doing it with full VR. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it sounds like you do the same thing. I don't understand what the point is. I don't know, I thought that video was funny though. Please be more into spattering. He looked like he dodged. I would like a pile of blood. But yeah, it's basically just all they've got going for them is plot and backstory, and an anime avatar does it better than them. Q Salt. Held a message for reason, identity, allow it to post to chat. Yeah, why would I not? I guess they're trying to be like overly protective. Like there's gotta be a list of terms that are not, but no, I'm not against that term. Because here's the thing, the term isn't necessarily like it's used derogatorily, but thought is also like, particularly in this context, it's their business model. They are in fact hoes. They are electronic hoes. That's their business model. I'm trying to think of what like an e-nerd would be. That would be my business model. That'd be like me being like, you can't say nerd. How dare you use the term nerd? That enrages me as I sit here playing a simulation game. Nerd. Like, no. Sorry. Once it's a business model, it's not a bad. I refuse. That's like trying to ban a term prostitute. If it's a business model, it's a business model. It is an official business term. Doesn't make sense to me. All those filters are just, by the way, the command was all those filters are just standard thought affair. That's what I'm saying. So like, if that is the standard, then that means that they're already doing the same thing. They're already using filters and shit to make up for their physical weaknesses. The only difference is this person's gone the full mile? Like, I don't understand. Hey, G Panta, welcome to the stream. Time to ban Lady of the Night. I think it's because it's not all filters. But no. It doesn't matter. The idea of trying to pretend you're better than someone else because you essentially cheat less does not make sense. Oh, I know I cheat, but she cheats more than I do, or he cheats more than I do. So my cheating is acceptable. I mean, hell, if you guys recalled way back at the beginning of this, way back in my like OG streams, there were a whole bunch of exploits in the game that I was, how do I use the word, stubbornly? I'll say stubbornly not using. I thought I requested him. Well, he's not gonna make it in time. I was stubbornly not using just because I thought it'd be easier to help introduce people. But all that did is it meant that I wasted even more time trying to deal with shit that doesn't yield to entertainment. I was trying to stick to a proper vanilla aspect and less to entertainment. And what, it's been a little over a year? I know I've streamed for, I think I've streamed for near on 2 years now, maybe. But I'll say it's been a little over a year since I've basically just started saying like, entertainment has to come first when you're doing it live. Like, so even I've had some slight things where it's like, okay, get the idea of like, well, I'm not fully cheating, I'm cheating less or whatever. But like, no, once you do it a little bit, you just have to admit that you're doing it. Like, I'm not gonna lie and be like, oh, I'm not cheating everyone's happiness up because that shit's a pain in the ass. Or we wouldn't ever have a long stream if I didn't fucking keep cheating their happiness up. We're also not going to see freaking amazing buildings if I don't do it either. You know what I'm saying? So just because you're like, oh, I use a few filters, that doesn't give you a foot to stand on and be like, I only use 23 body enhancing filters. This person uses 31. What a fucking cheater. Like, no. M'lady. Lack of them making better. Well, no, I will disagree with you on that, Guardsman Fallout. Filters can make them better because it can make things look more youthful. It can, you know what I'm saying? I will disagree with you there. I will consider it essentially cheating. It would make your job better. If your job is to present something and you have something to present it better, then in that regard, you're using technology to like make something better. For instance, like I am not completely immune to this idea. I am using a camera, but because of the lens I have and the lighting I have, everything tends to look a bit down. So I have to up saturation a little bit for it to look in the screen like it looks like in that screen, like it looks to me. But if I don't have some saturation enhancements on, everything looks like this and it looks too white. Like I'm not against the idea of it. Like everyone, particularly if you're doing things for entertainment, you have to end up using something to try to color balance things. You have to. So yeah, no, using filters does make things better. If I didn't have like a slight darkening and an upping of the saturation, my screen would always look washed out. I mean, I really don't care if someone cheats. It's not the driving point of what I watch or watch someone. It's personality. Well, on Chatterman, I don't think it's personality. To be fair, I don't think it's personality. On, what are we going to say? Twitch's elder sister? By the way, speaking of unfair filters.
The were-elk Uzu Rithlippy has come. A large elk twisted into humanoid form. It is crazed for blood and flesh. It's gonna burn. It's gonna fucking burn, BT dubs, don't worry. Its eyes glow aqua. Its charcoal hair is long and shaggy. Now you will know why you fear the night.
Yeah, I know, this guy's going to die. I'm not dealing with these things. I refuse, particularly were-elks. Just because elks are evil. We all know this. No one can trust an elk. They got way too many horns. Oh wait, that's right. I was supposed to have done it like this. Range 3, 3, 1 with a height of 1, enter. And then a range of 1, 1, 1. Change it to water. That way the fire doesn't spread. Yeah, I'm not dealing with that. Elka's evil, trust me, I played Magic the Gathering. Oko is evil. Oh shit, wrong tab.
No.
Yeah.
I said no.
I don't know what you're saying no to. You can kind of shut up. And we'll just let that. What is burning? Nothing should still be burning. Was there a tree in here? I don't think it'll spread. We'll have to pay attention to it. And the music died down. Now the music. This is something I slightly figured out a little after the fact. I need to do this on this one. So you give me a sec as I blank this out. Just make sure nothing's showing up. If I load up the music on the other computer like I did previously, it doesn't end up on the right audio channel. So it's a lot harder to balance the audio. There we go. It is a bit harder to balance the audio. Like I said, we'll just let that evaporate on its own. Just realized I can play basically a Witcher because I can buy venoms and poisons. I just need to figure out how to... apply them to my sword. I realize this when I can buy Gnome Blight, which causes severe systematic necrosis when in contact with gnomes. Okay. I mean, yes? Wasn't that kind of the point the whole time? Or did they change something and you're referencing that and I'm not aware? I thought legit that was like why those even exist in the game was for adventure mode. Is there anything in here being, yeah, whatever. They grab it, they grab it. Back to slowly trying to bleed our vampire. As you do. What are you talking about? But, really nothing wrong with cheating. It's not a competition, then it's just gaining the advantage. If it's not an outright conflict, otherwise others are harmed, it's not wrong. So, I agree with the sentiment. I disagree with your words, however, guardsman. Just because, you know, I'm a stickler for numbers and how things are. It is a competition. Even to people you are friendly with, in a co-op situation, it is always, particularly around the internet, a competition. It's one of the reasons, like I said, maybe this is just a bit, I don't want this, how do I word this? You guys who have been with me long enough know that when it comes to comes to things, I'm very objective. If I can evaluate it, I can work on it. I can improve things. When I try to figure out what does or does not work for the stream and or what does and does not make it better, I use long-term numbers as the metrics. I'm not looking at you guys as if you're all just numbers, but I have to look at the numbers. Because if a lot less people turn up, then that means whatever I'm doing, even if nobody outright says it, it probably isn't necessarily a good idea. It means I'm presenting a worse product. So I'm friends with, I say friends, I'm friendly with, I don't know them personally, but I'm friends with Blind RL, Cupo, Pint Size, TikToks, Blue Zest, you know, the people I raid. No, we're friendly. However, if we're both on the same time and doing the same games, we each have our own personal, those tier 1 fans I mentioned before, the people who are there to watch you, but we're splitting like the tier 2 and tier 3 fans. The people who are there to watch the game, they don't necessarily care about who. In that case, even though we're friends and we're friendly and we're not directly opposing each other, by both doing the same thing at the same time, we're getting in each other's way. It may not be a direct competition, but there is a competition happening. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't disagree with you. I don't see it as cheating, but I wouldn't say it's not a competition either. Particularly if you are on any platform, YouTube, Twitch, we were mentioning it earlier, Chatterbait, if you're on any platform that involves viewers, and this applies to TV too, that's why they're always like shuffling shows around in different hours. Everything is always a competition, even with the people that you're doing things co-op with. If I do another Terraria co-op with TikToks, when I do it with TikToks is slightly more personable than I am, which means between the two of us, if we're co-oping, I know it's not like oh, this is what's gonna happen. I know during the times that we're co-oping together, he's gonna get the lion's share of the views. He'll even take some of the viewers who are there to be watching me. That's because his chat is more active. It is a better product. Whereas mine is more informative. However, once he is unable to be streaming, I tend to get the views back. That's why it's like, okay, we're friends. We're not directly against each other, but even times when 2 or more people are co-oping a stream, they're kind of slightly in competition with each other. It's one of the reasons why I don't completely like multi-stream or like the multi-Twitch channel thing, is because I don't understand how Twitch counts those numbers. So if everyone is watching him, but I get some of the numbers from that, Did I have 12 people who liked what I was presenting over him? Because we were doing co-op, you could hear us both talking. Or did I have 12 people counting because of a multi-stream thing? If I had 12 people counting because of a multi-stream thing, but they weren't paying attention to me, then that might mean I need to improve my product. Everything on the internet is a competition. Even with people you are friendly with. You may not be trying to compete against them, but you are always competing against them. Everything. I'm going to business school, dude. Everything is a product. When you are an employee, you are a product. Like you hear the phrase, the customer is always right. Just to do a slight tangent on this, because this annoys me. The phrase you always hear is the customer is always right. And they take this, especially a lot of managers, they take this to be that if someone buying something from the store says something, you take their word over the employee. And the employee must bow to the customer's will. A store and employment has two customers. The customers who are trading money for goods or money for services, and the employees who are trading time for money. The customer is always right is supposed to be for managers and owners that everyone below you is right. You have to make everyone happy. It is not for a manager to say the person who gives me money is more right than the person who gives me time. Everything's a product. Everything you do every day is a product. You have a girlfriend, you have a wife, you have a boy, I should have said significant other, you have a boyfriend, you have whatever, you have a relationship. That is a product. You are giving your significant other something that someone else cannot be giving them. Everything is a product. Like I said, I'm not saying this to be crass or cruel. I used to also be in the military. I'm a very objective thinking person. I do numbers for everything. It's just the way I am. Everything can be classified as a product if you think about it hard enough. And then, yeah, treating my stream, I do treat my stream as a product. I mean, you guys are watching it. The product I'm giving you is education and entertainment. Of those two things, admittedly, for my slight priorities, entertainment is slightly lower. I want to be as entertaining as possible to get a bigger audience so that I can reach more people to ask questions and I can educate them. My end goal of all of this, like my perfect ending, so to speak, for this is like, oh, you want to be like PewDiePie? You want to be like the most famous? Not really. I would be completely happy if on like Wikipedia's or other things people talking to each other, if they had a list of people, be like, this is the subject matter expert. This is who knows what they're talking about. This man can steer you straight. If I was at the top of that list, that would be far preferable to me than being like, oh, he has the most views. Having the most views, but not being known as someone who's able to help you with the game is good, but I'd rather it be the other way around. But if I want to educate more people, I've got to be entertaining. In order to be entertaining, I have to provide an entertaining product. That's what this is. Everything is a product. I am wanting to give you education. That's not the product that most people want on the internet. They want entertainment. Oh yeah. Damn it. I forgot. I'm sorry, Steven. I have a button. I was going to test this. Hold on. I know you already shot. My button said green. Thank you so much, Sandhills Bell. So I have a button. It says it worked. I supposedly just gave you a shout out. It doesn't appear to have worked. It acted like it did. Thank you so much, Sandhills Bell. Honestly, I just want to watch someone shoot shit while playing Dwarf Fortress because I want to shut off serious tones in life. This is true. That is completely fine. I'm not demanding like the most fervent. No, strategist is the one end to Dwarf Fortress. All others must die for being heretics. But if you're going to try to present better and better streams, you have to view what you're doing as a product. In order to compete in any market, you have to be presenting a better product. How you doing, Sand? Now, for instance, an example that I've come up with off the top of my head for what you're saying. You just want to watch someone shoot shit while playing Dwarf Fortress. What if I didn't talk? What if I never spoke at all? You could hear sound synths, but I never spoke. I never paid attention to chat. I never spoke. There was no camera, so you never saw me. All you saw was the Dwarf Fortress product, and that was it. More than likely, you wouldn't pay too much attention to this. This is what Ciadad is going with. If you look at Ciadad, Ciadad's idea to this is because they're using a script to do it, they just get to do it all the time, quantity over quality, so to speak. Because they're on all the time, they can accrue slow views over time and end up with large amounts of viewerships in the long run. You probably don't watch too much Ciadad because there's no one shooting the shit. Again, it's a different thing of product. I am good. I'm doing fine. Still, if everything is a product, then wouldn't you just be making a better That brings us to the beginning of this entire conversation, Guardsman. Yes. This is why when I, at the beginning, when I was talking about the chick who was getting angry because of the chick who's using VR, yes. She was saying the other chick was cheating, but she herself was also using filters. But at the end of the day, they're not cheating. They're coming up with different ideas to try to present maybe a better product because they're trying to do better than what their bodies could produce. Apparently the chick in the, forgotten his name now. The chick in the Count Dankula video who had like on 19 billion filters, I guess she doesn't trust that her face is cute or whatever. Hence why she had to do the glasses and the big eyes and everything. Her body, I guess, or her face isn't that cute or isn't that innocent looking. So she threw on 90 billion filters to look more presentable. That is her, quote unquote, improving the product. The other chick used an actual VR system. That is her way of improving the product. One of these two things will work better in the market. And from what I gathered off of Count Dankula's video, the chick doing the VR was far better. As if everything's a product, in that case, music would honestly be a driving point. Yeah. These are all true. There's not like one defined thing. You have to do this for a product. Just like there's not one defined cap to a milk. Garlic is right and the rest of you are wrong. There's a milk called Garlic, and they have like the milk carton top. The top of it literally pops open. It has a little piece of plastic on the inside that curves in slightly, and it's a non-spill cap built into the milk. I will literally, if I had to choose to buy milk, that's the milk I will always buy because they have a better cap to me. If a milk does not even at least have a cap that does that, I do not see the purpose in buying it. But yeah, if what you prefer is music, you wanted music, you didn't want someone talking, then the guy providing the product with the really good music would be the guy you were looking at. Different markets or different people, even at the same market, like different things. If there was one generic, this is what I want in the thing, there wouldn't be Ford versus Toyota. There wouldn't be AMD versus NVIDIA. There would just be one. There would just be a monopoly. I mean, for this particular thing, they're complaining about the chick doing the VR thing. I don't think it's VR. But in my personal local market, Blue Zest. Blue Zest uses a facial mask program thing, so he looks like the Blue Zest raccoon. I think that's a raccoon. I'm gonna feel real bad if that's not a raccoon. That'd be like getting angry at Blue Zest for, oh, he doesn't show his real face. That doesn't make sense. That is literally, I can look through the things that are doing Dwarf Fortress in our game, spot his furry blue face in the corner and go, there's Blue Zest. I don't know if that's like a thing he has copyrighted or whatever, but that's a very good marketing thing. I can always identify him with that furry blue vest. I say vest, he's not wearing a vest, you know what I'm saying. The fur, the blue head of his. If he does a stream where he's not showing himself, and I quickly glance over the videos, I might not recognize he's even on unless I look at the names. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's his strategy. Even if it's not like, oh, here's my market strategy, that is fucking wonders. Face rig app, the digital fursuit. Yeah. I mean, as customer watcher, I think most people and wealthy people, employed people, watch streams sort of escape. If I was a streamer, I would tone down serious tones. That's it from the game now. Yeah, no, that's... Yeah. Again, at this point, that's just a personality thing. It's just which product you like. Face rig app, yeah. But like I said, he probably is not thinking of it in terms of product, market, or whatever. I just call everything. I need to have a title for everything. I'm willing to bet he doesn't think of it like that. I don't think there's an ulterior motive behind him doing the face rig app. However, it has, even incidentally or accidentally, caused a wonderful bit of branding. If you have me, Cupo, Blind IRL, and Blue Zest TV on at the same time, you didn't see names, you were just looking across the board, you can identify Cupo for not having a tile set and having very good art in his game. You can identify Blue Zest because of the fox. You can identify... Cupo actually does different things, but I know there's a way to identify his, but I haven't seen him in a while, so I don't know. I wouldn't say usually a lot of times there's lava. I know that sounds weird. I'm trying to think of a better thing for Cupo right now, but whenever I would see him on, there would always somehow be lava on the screen. I'm gonna go with that. And then for me, I'm like really zoomed in on the game. I use tile sets and I'm zoomed in a lot. And you have my face in the left. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like, you need to be able to visually identify things. This isn't like a full brand marketing strategy class here or whatever. But if you had all four of us together in a screen and you'd watched everyone twice, you could probably, without names, look at a screenshot of our four streams and identify which stream was which. You get what I'm saying? Everyone has a different product. We're all in the same market. We're all friends. We're not direct competition to each other. But if all four of us were on the same time, you'd be able to look at all four of those, say which product you like, and then go straight for that one. You wouldn't just be like, any one of these four guys would do. You either like my personality, Cupo's, Blind IRL's, or Blue Zest the most in this particular case, or more Dwarf Fortress streamers. Or, hell, Steven Robert. Steven Robert is always doing adventure mode. Here's I can tell, I think Cupo occasionally does adventure mode, but I don't think I routinely see Blue Zest in Dwarf Fortress adventure mode or Blind RL in adventure mode. So if you even add in Steven Robert to the line, the one that looks like it's just one dwarf with a fucking different UI would be his. So, and again, I don't think Steven Robert here's whole thing was like, oh, I'm gonna do a completely different product and take the market. It's not like an actual strategy for most people behind the scenes, but that's already a fucking, that sets him apart from everyone else. It's a smaller market in a bigger market. carve that out. He locks that down. He grows. If that's what Steven Roberts able to do to get in, that's what he's able to do to get in. What up? I just want to make content that I didn't see many people doing. Exactly. Like I said, I have come up with terms for this, particularly because I'm doing business classes. You know what I'm saying? I literally have to be thinking in these terms to get through class and to get good grades. Let's make this clear here. When I'm not doing this, I spend the regular days in the week, if I'm not doing videos, learning what products are and what markets are. So then I go and do this. This is the terms I get to think of it in. When I first did Dwarf Fortress, I did not think of it in terms of market or product. When I first started Dwarf Fortress, I noticed nobody was streaming Dwarf Fortress except Sayadad, and Sayadad looked boring as hell to me. I will trash talk Sayadad. I don't know who Sayadad is, but I don't know what and or why it's still going. Sayadad slightly annoys me. Sayadad was the only thing that I saw streaming, like at all, Dwarf Fortress. So I started to do Dwarf Fortress because I wanted to do content that I didn't see people doing. Now that I'm in business class, I've contextualized everything, and everything is a product. Now, quick example / idea. I want to test something. And here's my test. I don't know how long he has been on. I've clicked Dwarf Fortress real quick, but number 1 is Fold Up Gorilla. I've never seen this person before. I am number 2. Bruce Riggs is number 3. Jin JFT is number 4. There are a bunch of people all doing Dwarf Fortress right now. If you subtract 1 from all of them for streaming / their bots, then the back end don't have too many views. And your 3 major contenders right now are me, Fold Up Gorilla, and Bruce Riggs. Technically speaking, me, Fold Up Gorilla, and Bruce Riggs right now are competing. And I'm willing to bet that I lost 3 or so people, because I had a slightly higher number earlier, to Fold Up Gorilla, because I started talking about business and not Dwarf Fortress. Slightly boring, slightly dry concept. But the people who know me know I go off on random tangents like this. So the people who got like a bad taste in their mouth and like bounced a bit, if let's say at the time I was number 1, number 2 person would have been Fold Up Gorilla. So they just went down the line. Those people, without thinking about it, saw that person and are like, oh, this person's the next person who's got, you know, the most amount of views. They must be doing something right. They've probably got a pretty good thing. This now carries with it, and again, this isn't how I'm always thinking or anything like that, but as I'm rambling this off the top of my head, now for the foreseeable future, as long as they are on and or I don't gain a lead, they will have more numbers than me. Twitch will present them first. And that's kind of what makes this be a competitive market. Twitch will present them first. So if we go all the way back to what I talk about, the 3 different types of viewers, people who just want to watch Dwarf Fortress, they don't care who it is, they just want to watch Dwarf Fortress, they're likely to click Fold Up Gorilla first because they're top of the line. They got the most views. They've got to be the most entertaining. And maybe they are. Maybe they are more entertaining than me, but they've just started recently, and or they changed their schedule and I've never heard of them before. Even a little bit, though this is extremely micro and you could never extrapolate any data from it, in the very short term, I might have, by talking about business, pushed off 3 viewers, and now that might put me on the back foot for the rest of today's stream. One of the reasons why I tend not to try to go into like politics or anything like that. Maybe business was a bit too dry and mechanical. But everything you do, streaming, what started this conversation, Chatterbait, it's a competition. You got to be providing a better product, and to go with the ending example that I've come up with, discussing it the way I have may not have been the best solution. But for those of, we'll say, the regulars, you're used to this from me. It is my branding. The guy who will go on wild tangents unrelated to anything useful, might be slightly educational, but nobody knows where he's going until he's done. Strategist. Rant business. Now, what was the main topic? I know it was about the chick. It was the Count Dankula video. The chick, the VR. Oh, it was Stephen Robert, I think. VR sounds like it'd be very fun to be doing, particularly to make you be more active in things that are basically exercise, but in an entertaining game. That's what started all this. It seemed like it would be very fun to do as a game. I would probably have to, at least a few times if I got one, stream it, if for nothing else, to claim it as a business expense, because they tend to be slightly expensive. That is what started all this. I had the idea that I kind of wanted to get one, but if I got one, I would have to stream it a few times so I could claim it as a business expense. And business expense led to me thinking about how I just saw Count Dankula video and how there are chicks who masturbate on the internet who complain because some other chick freaking used a virtual reality avatar to masturbate on the internet and she got more money. Get good. That's what started all of this, was the side thought of, that does sound fun, but I'd have to stream it for a business expense. That's what started all of this. That was the side idea that I didn't vocalize that started however long that rant was. All right, how wounded are you? Do I have a pool anywhere? No, I just have spatterings. Fucking, if you want to, you can quote it. If you can figure out what the hell that quote, how the quote system works. That would definitely be a talking point. Strategist says get good at masturbating. If you have the space, so here's also a secondary thing. I don't think I have the space. I think I have more space in the living room, but I'm sure as shit not moving my computer to the living room to do some VR nonsense. See, that was quote. That wasn't, I don't know, like, I don't know what it is to add. Well, yes, but no. Again, going back to the product thing, if they're using filters a lot to improve it, then they're already admitting that their body isn't good enough in the market, right? They're having to do something to improve how you look like, then you're having to do something to improve how you look like. Something like you're not competitive in the market. The other person isn't an AI. The other person isn't an AI. They're like someone in like a VR full body tracking thing or whatever. So there's still someone there. They've just done the exact same thing with a slightly different product. It's like, what is it? It's VR chat. It's basically just someone doing whatever the hell it takes for VR chat, except for they're jerking off on camera. Or it's a chick, so they're not jerking off. You don't need to move anything with the Quest because it's a standalone machine. You have to get your phone or something to cast what you were seeing in the headset. Ah, okay. It does sound useful. Stop biting me, you little banana lizard assholes. Some of them are goofy. All right, so what is the over-under that we're ever going to get more than a spattering? I'm suspecting because it's always in a different direction, that's why it's still spatterings. But I don't know how to tell if it hits the same area more than once. So there are some things you just kind of can't improve. You just have to accept what it is. For instance, I built a clay wall at some point, and that's gonna haunt me for the rest of my days. No, ignoring the clay wall. I tend to get stuck a little too much in the infrastructure building these projects, where I think a lot of people spend a lot less time doing projects and having more interesting fights and adventures in the Dwarf Fortress. This is just true. This is a weakness that I must learn to accept about myself. The same as when I do, same when I DM D&D. I have routinely come up with fantastic character-driven stories that adapt to what the characters are doing and create some memorable fucking encounters. I'm willing to bet, though, my first 3 sessions on every player who's done one of my games for every new adventure is rated as some of the most boring shit they've ever done. Because until my players grab a hook, I don't know what story I'm going with. So the players don't know what's going on, and technically, I don't know what's going on. Until the players do something, I can't respond to them. I'm very good at laying out a whole bunch of plot threads at once and seeing which one the players unravel. Like a Machiavellian version of Cabin in the Woods? I think that's what the horror comedy movie is called, Cabin in the Woods. But yeah, first couple of sessions of any of my campaigns are always some of the most boring affairs for my players, I'm willing to admit, because they literally just kind of half wander around and nothing happens until I figure out what they're going for. Some players, though, just do it worse. Some players do it worse. I had one game, this drove me up a wall. I had one game where I set out 6, count them 6, of the most obvious plot hooks you've ever seen. And my players found a way to go a 7th route. And I was like, I don't know what you want from me. You guys are awful. I had started them. I had role-played each of them individually for about 30 minutes. They were all playing like level 4 something characters. And individually, they had entered a town, whatever their backstories were, I'm forgetting right now, they had a reason to be entering the town. But within a relatively short period of time, I had gotten them arrested. I had gotten them framed for all kinds of crimes. And each time, it was completely apparent to the player themselves that they were being framed. Like, it was really good setups to frame them all individually and get them in the same cell. Got them all in the same cell, and then a dude comes in and talks to them. Like 5 minutes after the last dude gets arrested, a dude comes and starts talking to him. And he basically sets himself up as like the not big bad, like the early level big bads. And he's like, oh, you were the groups, I've been doing all these scrying spells, so on and so forth. I'm doing Project X. Really, it's kind of mostly below your purview, and all fucking, I'm forgetting the term right now. They're not wishes, all predictions. There's a nice term for predictions. Like, oh, it's your, it's not destiny. There is a lady or somebody, she makes like a prediction. She foretells the future. I'm forgetting what the term is right now. She foretells the future, and this is what's going to happen. Well, his big thing was they fuck with someone else to such a degree that causes fallout and interrupts him. Oracle Diviner, not the person, the actual thing. It's like, oh, there is a future that was divined for you. You have a destiny, but it's called, like the verb is called a thing. I don't know. I'm describing it. It's a very simple word. I'm just describing it like shit. There is divination's a type of spell. Like Harry Potter had a something about him, right? Prophecy. Thank you. Prophecy. The early level big bad had them arrested because there was a prophecy about them defeating someone else. But when they defeated someone else, they weren't going to defeat him correctly. Like when they defeated him, he was going to retreat and be pushed back to an area. But the area the big bad was going to be pushed back to was where like this dude was wanting to operate on. So he purposely framed them all. And he was like, I want you to know, I did frame you all. You can hate me all you want. Here's how I'm going to make it better for you. This is the dude that you are prophesized to fucking defeat. I have made sure he did not get the prophecy, but I need you to do better than the, not like stop the prophecy, do better. Like you have to make sure you do not like let him get away or you're gonna fuck up my shit. And I can't afford to have you fuck up my shit because you can't defeat some other asshole correctly. Like I set him up as this dude who's like, fucked all their plans. One of them's like, I'm gonna go here and build up a Wizards Guild or join the Wizards Guild, and now they're like fugitives. It's like, the Wizards Guild's not gonna take you. They already think you burned down part of the town. Like straight up, I got them in trouble for a lot of shit. So they're furious at him. He's like, I'll let you go. I will let you go. And you can try to get revenge on me all you want, but here's the thing. There is no prophecy about you defeating me. You're going to, at some point, get stuck defeating the other dude. So I feel completely confident letting you go. I need you to do the other thing better. Like, I am not your problem, but, or you are not my problem, but I can become your problem, sort of a thing. This is supposed to be plot one. They get out and they immediately go, well, we hate that guy, so we're leaving town. We never want to talk to him again. We're not dealing with him. Screw him, screw all of his shit. Well, okay, then I only DM'd every person individually like 10 or 20 minutes. Then there was like 6 of them too. And then spent another 30 minutes doing the jail scene and they break out and all that good jazz. And then they just fucking ditch. That plot point's moot. I could bring it back, but the plot point's moot. So they're traveling. And they're going down the road to the next village. The next village down. Randomly halfway down the road, one of the players goes, I'm gonna go right. Or I'm gonna go east. And I'm like, well, there's not much east. He goes, well, I have a map of the area. The map shows a dirt road there. I look at it, I'm like, yes, there is a dirt road there. And he goes, we're gonna go east. The dude might try to catch up with us again at the village. We're just gonna go east, fuck this. All right, I had like the bare essentials of an idea of what I was gonna do at the other village. But I was like, all right, I was like, you don't wanna do them, you don't wanna do them. To the east, I was setting up a plot point that was supposed to come in a few sessions, which is I was doing like a psionic / Egyptian thing. There was a massive underground area that had a set of pyramids in it that was protected by a gigantic, I want to say dome of anti-magic, but it's like a dome of disjunction, and a spherical wall of force. And what it was is I was having half of the Psionic Kingdom try to come back. So I was gonna have to have them deal with, that one was led by the female, Queen Elizabeth. And I had based the Psionic Kingdom off of BioShock. So it was literally an entire kingdom of little sisters and big daddies, just like they had regular people, but like the militant arm. If it was psionics or psychics, they tended to be little creepy girls. And if it was from the psionic classes, the physical ones that could beef themselves up, they tend to be looking more like big daddies and splicers and shit. So that's what I was going with. They go there and they find out that they slip in. They find out that they're there, they're trying to do something, and they're wanting to get out. But they're worried because like there had been a schism. There was a civil war amongst the psionic classes, and there's a psionic king. The psionic king is looking for their location, and someone got dwarfed. Hold on. Hey, Speedy Noob. Here's an interesting condition. Dwarf fortress, women, necromancers, experiments, managed to escape. Welcome to Mountain Home. Created the... Oh, that's nice. All right, hold on. Let me get the Speedy Noob before I forget that he wanted to get dwarfed. Has nickname Speedy Noob. You got dwarf 11. 13, 12, 11. Speedy Noob, you are a grease monkey. You're a mechanic. Now, the Speedy Noob. Hold on, everyone. If you all get dwarfed, then I won't remember. Yeah, yeet. How you doing, Speedy Noob? Second person to get dwarfed was Ingvar77. You got dwarf 12. You are a hauler. You have some skills in fishing, but I'm not doing much fishing right now. I was about to spell your name wrong. Ingvar 77. And since I don't recognize your names, I will point out that you could type in the same command, and as long as I have not noticed you have died, the script will just whisper to you in the future that you were still alive. How was your day? My day is doing fine. I'm gonna save real quick. My day is doing fine. I am recovering from an allergy / minor sinus infection. So, before I get into the story, you're gonna want to know who your dwarves are. Everyone wants to know who their dwarves are. Hold on. Before Ingvar was Speedy Noob. The Speedy Noob. Speedy Noob is there. Speedy Noob. He feels euphoric due to inebriation. Speedy Noob.
Speedy Noob is way too active. There we go. Speedy Noob is almost never sick and tough. I'm assuming he is never sick, and tough. Not, he is almost never sick and tough. He's never tough. He's almost never tough. But he is quite clumsy and unquestionably weak. The Speedy Noob likes Roodle, Trifle Pewter, Red Pyrope, Llama Wool, Pigtail Fabric, Armor Stands, Figurines, Turkeys for their gobble, and the words of the Sable Lace. When possible, he prefers to consume elephant, parsnip plants, custard apple cider, and cow's milk. He absolutely detests cave spiders. He has great creativity and ability to read emotions fairly well and a sum of patience, but he has meager ability with social relationships and really poor focus. Speedy Noob, you are married to Glory Fire 21. You have a couple of children, none of which are named. You have a couple of family members. You have a lot of family members, none of which are named. Insane Gifter and Alapega are your nephews. You have a really big family, holy shit. Amongst your friends, you count Eldritch, Ingvar 77, El Spirit, Nornagon, Bear Grylls 88, 23 Emil 23, Cathar Noir, and Toverish Daft. Everyone else is a passing acquaintance or worse.
After Speedy Noob, we had Ingvar. There we go. She.
There we go, much less nasally to make this one work. Ingvar 77 is very slow to tire, but is slow to heal. Ingvar 77 likes bituminous coal, silver, golden beryl, coconut palm wood, the color cerulean, maces, rings, string bean plants for their pods, the words of the embrace of brides, and the sight of the adorable wisp. When possible, she prefers to consume giant sloth bear and prickleberry wine. She absolutely detests oysters. She has a great memory, a feel for music, an ability to read emotions fairly well, and a good feel for social relationships. But she has a questionable spatial sense, a little difficulty with words, a meager kinesthetic sense, a shortage of patience, very bad analytical abilities, and next to no willpower. Ingvar 77 is married to Dayspass 76. She has one daughter, an extended family, amongst which Fuzzy Lunkins 1 is her uncle, Timotei is a cousin, Alapega Wade Master Gang 23 Emil 23, Nordagon Bear Grylls, Eldritch, Dr. Acula, the Speedy Noob, El Spirit, Toverish Daft, Gloryfire 21, Kane the Flump, Ocelot, Gust of Air are all her friends. Everyone else is a passing acquaintance or worse.
There we go. Thank you. All right, YouTube, I've been informed that an hour has passed, so we're going to take a break. See you guys next time.